Well, hello and welcome to the Waters and Stanton video channel again. My name is Peter Waters, call sign G30JV. I'm here in our music studio. One or two of you have asked if they could see a bit more of where I do these videos from. So this is basically our music studio. Sue, my wife, plays keyboard. I play synthesizer and drums, and we do quite a few backing tracks for local people. So that's the situation here, and that's why you see all the keyboards around. So anyway, thanks for joining, and I'm glad you could join me. And this is a video really about one or two new products, but they're not sort of massively expensive, and I think they're the sort of products which you might want to perhaps think about for your Christmas stocking or birthday or whatever. Anyway, let's take a look. Well, now the first product I want to introduce you to is an MBF 705, and I have to laugh because it's a tilt stand for the ICOM IC705, and it's only a few days ago that I did a short video showing how you could tilt the IC705 by removing the earth screw and putting it into the base. So ICOM have obviously decided that they do need a desk stand for it. It's a shame really, because the IC705 tilts back and it has got a flat surface, an angled flat surface, and it will almost balance, but the battery actually, the battery pack on the back is not quite heavy enough. If you had a larger pack on the back, then it would balance okay. Anyway, as it comes, it won't quite tilt. So ICOM have produced the MBF 705, which I'm going to show you on the screen here. It's not a particularly good photograph. There's nothing on it that's adjustable. It just seems to be a shaped stand. We haven't got it in stock at the moment. We're waiting for it to come in, and it's going to be $19.95. So that's the MBF 705, the base stand for the ICOM IC705. Now, just after I started this video, I got a note about the world's largest 23 SEMS Yagi. Well, I'm not quite sure whether it's actually the world's largest, because if you have multiple stacked arrays, of course, that would, I presume, qualify for the largest 23 SEMS antenna in the world. Anyway, this is described as the world's largest single boom, I guess, 23 SEMS antenna. It's made by a firm that we represent in the UK called Dual Antennas. Now, the name is a bit misleading really, because although they make dual antennas, they also make single band antennas. And this is the single band 23 SEMS Yagi, and it is indeed long. They have produced quite an interesting video on this antenna, the design, the manufacture and so forth of it. And I've put a link at the bottom of this video to take you to that video that they produced. But there's a few snapshots here I'm going to show of this video, just a few. It's quite an antenna, and even if you're not interested in 23 SEMS, you might want to take a look at the video, because it gives you some idea of the craftsmanship that goes into the range of dual antennas that we represent here in the UK. So take a look. As I say, it's a much longer video, much more detailed than I've shown you on the screen there. Now, the next item I'm going to talk about, in contrast, is a lot smaller. It's a small power supply. Now, we have been doing this for a little while, but I thought I'd show it to you because I don't think we've featured it at all in the video. And the power supply was originally designed for Elecraft, the KX2 and KX3. But there are adapter leads for the Yaesu FT817 and the FT818, and also an adapter lead for the new IC705. Now, because it's so small, it'll almost fit in your pocket, and it'll work with 230 volts or 115 volts. very low noise. It will deliver up to 4 amps, and it's a sort of power supply that you can easily take around with you if you're going on holiday, going to a hotel or wherever. So let's just take a brief look at this power supply. The power supply is known as the KX33, and as I said, it will work on either 115 or 230 volts. It's auto switching, and we measure it. It's 12 centimeters long. It's 5 centimeters wide, and it's about 2.5 centimeters deep. So, as you can see from the size of my hand, it's a pretty compact power supply. One end, the DC output, is hardwired, and it's a generous lead actually. This lead is 2 meters long, so the power supply can be tucked out of the way. And then on the other end is a 2-pin socket for the mains cable that comes ready wired with a 13 amp plug on it. The end of the cable has got a DC connector which is designed to go straight into the KX2 and KX3 of Elecraft, but you can purchase an adapter lead, which I'll show here. That adapter lead simply connects like that, and that converts the lead. In this case, it converts it into an ICOM IC705, but you can also get an adapter lead for the FT817 and 818. So it's a nice little power supply, very compact, and just the thing to take around with you when you're operating portable or on holiday. We've got products coming in thick and fast at the moment. Here's the Texan 990X, which I'm going to do a more detailed review on. But I just thought I'd let you know that we've just got this back in stock now. It's a wideband receiver that covers long wave, medium wave, short wave, and the great thing about it is it covers SSB, LSB, USB, and it's got switched IF filters, and it's triple conversion. So quite an interesting radio, and we'll take a more detailed view of that in an upcoming video. Now the final product I'm going to talk about today is from Vibraplex. It's an end-fed half-wave antenna. It's the EFHW 80-10-JR-KW. They're a long product code. Basically, it's an end-fed half-wave that covers 80 meters to 10 meters and is rated at 1 kilowatt. The JR, which I presume stands for junior, which goes back ages when some of the antennas carried the word junior, which usually meant it was a lower powered antenna. Well, this is not lower powered, it just happens to be shorter. And that is the feature of this new antenna, it's shorter. It's only 75 foot long, and I've put up on the screen here our web entries, you can see. And it's a nicely made antenna. It's very well engineered, very well packaged, and certainly weatherproof and rugged. And of course, it will handle a kilowatt. Now, I'm going to put up on the screen a very simple drawing, which will give you some idea of how this antenna operates. Basically, it's 75 foot long, and it's got a coil towards the end. Now, I have covered this topic before, and in fact I use one of these antennas myself. The coil acts both as a choke and as a loading coil. On all bands from 10 meters to 40 meters, it acts as a choke. In other words, the RF energy can't pass through it because it's a choke. It represents a high impedance, almost like an insulator, not a perfect insulator, but almost like an insulator. But when it comes to 80 meters, it no longer performs as a choke, it just acts as a loading coil. And that, with the extra 7 or 8 foot of wire beyond it, resonates the antenna on 80 meters. Now, the good thing about that is that you can adjust the 80 meter band without affecting the other bands. So if you've got your antenna resonated on the harmonics from 40 through to 10, because that's the way it works. It works on harmonics 40, 20, 15 and 10. It works on those harmonics. And on 80 meters, which it functions now because of the loading coil, you can actually change the length of the antenna be on that loading coil just to trim 80 meters, because 80 meters is quite a wide band really, because it's an LF band, and going from 3.5 to 3.8 is quite a span of frequencies. So you can adjust the antenna on 80 meters to wherever you want. You might be a CW man, you might be an SSB man. Generally speaking, most modern transceivers will handle that antenna anyway. Whether you resonate it on the CW end or the SSB end, the built-in ATU of your transceiver will handle the SWR, so don't really worry about it. The good thing about these antennas is that they don't require an antenna tuner. Now, you're almost certainly, if you've got a modern radio, it's got a tuner inside, and feel free to use it, because that will get the SWR right down to 1:1. But you don't actually need it. On all the bands from 40 through to 10, certainly, you can probably run the transceiver without an ATU. On 80 meters, you probably need an ATU, depending on where you've resonated it and where you wander to off that resonant frequency. Now, it's a very interesting antenna, and I've been using this design for about 18 months now. I'm very impressed with it. So what I'm going to do is to do a video showing you how you can use this particular antenna even in small gardens. Yes, even in a small garden, a relatively short garden, say 10 meters long. Even in a garden 10 meters long, that's around about 30 feet in my money, you can put up an antenna that will cover 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10. So look out for a video on that very soon, and I'll guide you through it. In the meantime, thank you for watching this video. It's been fairly short. It's a news item basically, of course, and I do appreciate you viewing these videos and making the comments. It's nice to see the comments coming in. A lot of them, or most of them actually, are positive. We get the odd the odd one who wonders if the little receiving loop will accept 100 watts and that sort of thing, but there we are. In the main, they're positive and very constructive comments, and they come from all over the place. So appreciate you keeping in touch. Don't forget to press the subscribe button, so at least you know when a video is coming up and you can take a look at it. In the meantime, do enjoy your ham radio, because that's what it's all about. It's a great hobby. And keep safe, of course, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.